Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akim spreading his truth and sincerity. Shalom. So in this video I want to talk about a story that I've been told this week by someone that I worked at, and it's kind of yeah, how you say it's like a mixed like a mixed feeling story, right? Because what happened, of course, it was all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what happened to the man and the situation. But it also gives you a little bit of insight concerning what is going on upon this earth, man. And how people, their mindset is going to change, man, and how it is, changing. So this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And the reason I bring out this scripture is because we are in a time period right now in which, people, more and more start to care less about others, man. And the reason that is happening is because it says, because iniquity shall abound. So, a lot of, sins are, taking place upon this earth, man. Think about places being robbed, all kind of different scam tactics that are being used, upon this earth, man. And it's funny that I, just mentioned that, because that reminds me of another thing, another thing that happened to me this week. When I was working at someone's house, because right now I have this small project of placing rain barrels at people at their houses. I have to place about 100 of them in his neighborhood. And when I rang the doorbell at these Brazilian people's house, and I told them what I came to do. I was like, hey, this and this company that y'all rent this house from, they have a mandatory installation concerning these rain barrels. The first thing that they did, or that the husband actually did, well, the first thing, let me say it like this, the first thing that happened is the woman opened the door and she got her husband, and then her husband came to the front door and asked me about my credentials, man. If I had any information that I could show them concerning the fact that I was really placing these rain barrels for the company that they hired a house from, the property basically. And I said I could not. I can show you my identification, but I don't have the credentials that you ask for, seeing I'm self-employed. So the man told me, like, okay, seeing this is this current situation right now, I would like to get in contact first with the company that I hired a house from, so that I'm basically comforted concerning you being at my front door. Then I decided to continue with my work, and then all of a sudden this man you know approached me from behind while it was another street away, and he said, yeah, I seen that it's on the portal um, from the company, and that indeed talks about rain barrel installation taking place right now. So if you want, you can just come in and install the rain barrel. So after that, I went to the guy's house. I installed the rain barrel, and then the man apologized towards me, concerning, like, hey, I'm sorry, concerning asking for the credentials, this, that, and the third, but hey, we're from Brazil, In Brazil, people find all kind of reasons and ways to get into someone's house in order to rob the person or scam people. So I told him like, hey, I understand we live in 2024, and me having the understanding of Matthew chapter 24 verse 12, it says, because iniquity shall abound, because sins are going to increase, man. People feel less safe at home. People feel less safe going places, man. It says, the love of many shall wax cold. So this man, instead of welcoming me with open arms, he was like, no, man, I first want to see credentials, because hey, I don't feel safe in this situation. Everybody can step to someone's door, ring the doorbell, and say that he is such and such, and then later on, the house is being robbed. You see, that was one of the things that I experienced during this week. you know but because of all these things happening upon this earth, man, the people ain't gonna really care about what's gonna happen with the next guy, with the guy next door, man. you know 50 years ago, man, people were tight, man. Neighbors were drinking coffee, going there for conversations, having a good time. In this day and age, people don't really know their neighbors no more, man. You see why? Because people see, what is happening upon this earth, and people see on the news, how people are being robbed, how elderly people are being held hostage, this, then the third, man. And then, I haven't even spoken about the situation that this guy explained to me, that I actually wanted to speak about in this video, because this guy, he took his son, last Saturday, he took his son to a soccer tournament. Would you understand? Like, hey, that's for children, man. So the way that a parent's mentality should be is like, hey, this is for the children, man. Behave, have a good time. At least this is, something that happened back in the days, man. You know. But as I'm gonna talk about, what the guy told me, you're gonna see like, hey, man, the love of many is waxing cold, man, because of the shit that people, are doing, man. So he told me that, he went to this tournament, and he wanted to park the car on the parking lot. People were waiting. A lot of people was over there, and this one guy, he had parked his car, or he stood on the on the road in such a way that he was actually blocking the road, man, and people behind was basically waiting for this dude. So the guy, which was an Elamite, was just waiting in the car, because he was like, "Hey, I can't go nowhere, man. Nowhere that I can go. So hey, I'm just waiting." Then all of a sudden, the guy that blocked the road, stepped out of the car, walked up to the Elamite and asked him, "Hey, you want to say something?" Then the Elamite said, "Yeah, well, now that you mention it, is there maybe a way that you can just move your car a little bit so that you're not blocking the road, because people want to park the car?" Then this guy got offended in some shape or form, and he got vexed and angry, man. Then he was threatening the guy like, "Hey, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it?" And the Elamite was ignoring it, basically, and he continued to drive along, because he was trying to park his car. As he was driving, further down the road, and was about to park his car, him standing in his parking space, basically, he saw the guy, pulling up behind him, and then stepping out of the car. So the Elamite got out of the car and walked towards him, and started to talk to him like, "Hey, what is going on?" And before he even actually could say something, the other guy, smacked him in the face, man. Elamite flipped. They got into a fight. The Elamite, got injured quite badly. He showed me a couple of pictures. The other guy was basically arrested. He told me that this guy was a very big dude, very muscular, and I told him, "Hey, maybe some doping is in into play, man. Like some drugs, man. Like some steroids, man. That he was so fucked up in the mind." But these kind of things happening, man. Hitting people out of nowhere. Harassing people, threatening people, intimidating people, without no reason. it's gonna make people lose, the love that they used to have, man. This is something that the Bible talks about, man. You know, it says Matthew chapter 20 verse 12 again, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. People ain't gonna care about the next door neighbor no more, man. They're gonna keep to themselves, you know, and they ain't gonna give a flying shit, man. You know, because whereas people were able to help other people back in the days, the same situations that people, back in the days, was getting into when they needed help. Those same things can be a setup, man. I remember in the movie The Book of Eli, where it was this one woman. She was all by herself, and then Eli, he went to help her, man. Meanwhile, it was an ambush. You see, so these things happening upon the earth are for people like, hey, they don't really want to help people no more, man. That is the times that we're heading into, man. More and more, man. You know, which this was already prophesied by Yahushua to happen, man. You see, and they also have the company that I work for as well. We're placing these rain barrels. Usually they inform the people, man. They inform the people about, someone is coming at your house, this and this day, and if you're not home, just leave the garden or the yard door open. I'd be like, no, man. You might never know what kind of people, are there, man. I've in the past week, man, I've seen people having cameras in their backyard, man. Cameras at the front door, cameras at the backyard. Why? Because people ain't trusting nobody no more, man. You know, talking through that ring doorbell. Trying to communicate with me what I'm doing at the door. Me asking politely if nobody's home. Perhaps that the backyard door is open, and if I have the permission, to go through the back door, and install the rain barrel, man. These are the type of situations that we're getting into, man. Using wisdom, not provoking people, man. Because basically what you're doing is you're so-called trespassing, right? Because actually the house is being rented by these people. Meanwhile, it's the property of the company, that hired us to put the rain barrels, man. You see? So that's the situation, man. Like, hey, people, hey, the love of many is waxing cold, man. They ain't giving a flying shit about the people next door no more, man. You see? You never know, man. You never know. Hey, so Yara Jazai, this video was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading truth and sincerity. Shalom.